Yo, what's up, history buffs? Ready to dive into some real history? Today we're diving deep into the Renaissance, but forget those stuffy textbooks. We're going to explore the vibrant, bustling world of the Renaissance like never before. We're talking about the real MVPs, the merchants. These were the folks who truly made things happen. These guys were the original hustlers, the backbone of the economy, the ones who made it rain long before dollar bills existed. They were the lifeblood of the Renaissance economy. They were trading spices, silk, and precious metals like it was nobody's business, literally. Their trade networks spanned continents and brought exotic goods to Europe. Forget feudalism. These guys were paving the way for capitalism one deal at a time. They were the pioneers of a new economic order. Think of them as the Silicon Valley entrepreneurs of their day, but instead of apps, they were trading tangible goods that everyone wanted. They were the innovators and disruptors of their time. From the bustling markets of Florence to the canals of Venice, these guys were making deals and building empires. Their influence was felt far and wide. They weren't afraid to take risks, to travel to the ends of the earth for the best deals and the rarest treasures. Their adventurous spirit knew no bounds. They were the original globalists, connecting East and West with their trade routes and their entrepreneurial spirit. They bridged cultures and brought the world closer together. But it wasn't just about the money, though these guys had plenty of it. They were also about influence and power. They were also patrons of the arts, dropping serious cash on masterpieces by the likes of Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Their support helped fuel the Renaissance art movement. Talk about having an eye for talent. They knew how to spot and nurture genius. These merchants knew that investing in art wasn't just about looking fly, it was about securing their legacy and gaining influence. Art was a status symbol and a way to cement their place in history. They were basically the Jay-Z's and Beyoncés of their time, using their wealth and influence to shape the culture around them. They were trendsetters and cultural icons, so buckle up because we're about to take you on a wild ride through the world of Renaissance merchants. Their stories are filled with adventure, ambition, and innovation. We'll explore their lives, their deals, their challenges, and their lasting impact on the world. Their legacy is still felt today in the way we do business. Trust us, you won't want to miss this. It's a journey through history that will change the way you see the past. The Renaissance wasn't just some abstract historical period, it had a pulse, a heartbeat, and that heartbeat was in the bustling cities where merchants made their mark. These cities were the epicenters of innovation and commerce, where the old world met the new in a vibrant clash of cultures and ideas. Imagine the sights, the sounds, the smells, the air filled with the aroma of exotic spices, the chatter of merchants haggling over prices, and the vibrant colors of goods from all over the world. We're talking Florence, the birthplace of the Renaissance, where the Medici family, the OG venture capitalists, bankrolled everything from art to infrastructure. Their influence was so profound that it shaped the very fabric of the city and its culture. These guys were like the Google of their time, investing in everything and reaping the rewards. Their patronage wasn't just about money, it was about power, influence, and leaving a lasting legacy. Then there's Venice, the city on the water, where gondolas weren't just for romantic tourists. They were the lifeblood of the city's economy, navigating the intricate network of canals to transport goods and people. These were serious business vessels, transporting goods and merchants through the canals. The waterways of Venice were like the highways of today, bustling with activity and commerce. Venice was like the Amazon of its day, a hub for international trade connecting Europe with the East. It was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and goods, making it one of the most important cities of the Renaissance. They had everything from spices to silk to slaves, though that's a dark chapter we won't delve into too deeply. The wealth and diversity of goods in Venice were unparalleled. And let's not forget Antwerp, the diamond capital of the world where fortunes were made and lost on the turn of a card. Or rather, the sparkle of a gem. Antwerp was a city of high stakes and even higher rewards. Antwerp was like the Wall Street of the Renaissance, a place where risk-takers and high rollers from all over Europe converged to make their fortune. It was a city where the bold and the ambitious thrived. These cities weren't just places of business, they were melting pots of culture, where new ideas flourished alongside trade routes. They were the crossroads of the world, where East met West and new ideas were born. They were places where artists, writers, and thinkers were drawn to the patronage of wealthy merchants, creating a vibrant intellectual and artistic scene. The synergy between commerce and creativity was palpable. It was the perfect storm of economic prosperity and creative energy that made the Renaissance so unique. This blend of wealth, culture, and innovation created an era that still resonates with us today. Alright, let's talk shop. The bustling markets of the Renaissance were a sight to behold, filled with vibrant colors, exotic scents, and the constant hum of haggling voices. What were these Renaissance merchants actually trading? The variety of goods was astonishing. Well, they weren't selling iPhones and NFTs, that's for sure. Instead, they dealt in items that were both practical and luxurious. Their game was all about the tangible, the exotic, the stuff that made life more flavorful, literally. From the everyday essentials to the rare and precious. We're talking spices like pepper, cloves, and cinnamon, which were worth their weight in gold back then. These spices were highly sought after, and could make or break a merchant's fortune. These spices weren't just for spicing up your dinner. They were used in medicine, perfumes, and even religious ceremonies. Their value extended far beyond the kitchen. Then there was silk, the ultimate status symbol. This fabric was not just a commodity, it was a statement. This luxurious fabric, imported from China along the Silk Road, was the height of fashion, and a sign that you had serious cash to burn. Owning silk was like owning a piece of the world. Imagine rocking up to the palazzo in a silk doublet and hose looking like $1,000,000 ducats. It was the ultimate flex. And of course, we can't forget about precious metals and gemstones. These were the true treasures of the time. Gold, silver, diamonds, rubies, these were the bling of the Renaissance, used for everything from jewelry to currency. They were symbols of wealth and power. These merchants were like walking banks, carrying their wealth on their fingers, necks, and in their heavily guarded treasure chests. Their riches were both a blessing and a target. To protect their interests and ensure fair trade, merchants formed guilds. These organizations were crucial for their survival and success. These were like the ancient predecessors to trade unions, providing members with protection, training, and a sense of community. They were the backbone of the merchant class. Guilds were powerful entities, often wielding significant political influence in their cities. They could make or break a merchant's career. They set prices, regulated quality, and even had their own courts to settle disputes. Their authority was unquestioned. So, as you can see, these Renaissance merchants were dealing with some high-stakes, high-value commodities. Their trade was the lifeblood of the economy. They were the original global supply chain masters, connecting distant lands and cultures through their trade networks. Their influence was felt across continents. Now let's talk about the Renaissance merchants' other passion, art. These guys weren't just about making money, they were about making a statement. They were the OG art collectors, the patrons who bankrolled some of the greatest masterpieces in history. We're talking Michelangelo's David, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, Botticelli's Birth of Venus. The list goes on and on. Imagine commissioning a work of art that would not only beautify your palazzo but also immortalize your name for centuries to come. That's what these merchants were doing, using their wealth to shape the cultural landscape of their time. They understood that art wasn't just a pretty picture, it was a powerful tool for communication, propaganda, and legacy building. They weren't just passive consumers of art either, they were active participants in the creative process. They would commission specific subjects, dictate the size and materials, and even provide the artists with detailed instructions. Talk about micromanaging. But hey, when you're dropping serious ducats on a masterpiece, you want to make sure it's exactly what you envisioned. Their patronage wasn't limited to painting and sculpture either. They also funded the construction of churches, libraries, hospitals, and other public works. These projects not only beautified their cities but also provided employment and improved the lives of their fellow citizens. So next time you're admiring a Renaissance masterpiece, remember the merchants who made it all possible. They were the ones who footed the bill, and boy did they have good taste. Now, let's dive into the bustling streets where the hum of daily life never ceases. Merchants haggling, customers bargaining, and the air thick with the promise of profit. It's a world where every moment counts, and every transaction could be the one that makes or breaks a fortune. Here, in the heart of the city, the true essence of a Renaissance merchant comes alive. Ah, fashion. For the Renaissance merchant, clothing wasn't just about covering oneself, it was a declaration of status, wealth, and power. Rich fabrics, intricate designs, and vibrant colors were all part of the ensemble. Each piece of attire meticulously chosen to reflect their success and influence. A merchant's wardrobe was, indeed, a visual testament to their prosperity. Merchants were not just traders, they were the movers and shakers of their time. They influenced politics, funded explorations, and even shaped the cultural landscape. Their wealth and connections allowed them to navigate the corridors of power, making decisions that impacted entire nations. Truly, they were the unsung architects of the Renaissance era. Every transaction, every negotiation, and every deal was a step toward shaping history. The Renaissance merchant was a master of diplomacy, using their savvy to forge alliances and open new trade routes. Their influence extended far beyond the marketplace, leaving an indelible mark on the course of history. Each deal wasn't just business, it was a legacy in the making. The legacy of Renaissance merchants lives on. Their contributions to art, culture, and the economy are woven into the very fabric of history. They were visionaries, pioneers, and above all, game changers. Remember their name, for they were the true architects of the Renaissance, shaping the world as we know it today.